You asked me to say something more about the Utopian journey so far. Actually, I would say we're doing pretty well. But of course, the pandemic caused unforeseen delays. Initially, this made it harder to stay on track. But then everyone got together and adapted. We have adapted and adapted. We found new ways to get to the same destination. So the pandemic has not stopped us from taking virtual journeys or from dreaming, developing and co-creating with colleagues around the world. So the journey is just to start.
Hello everybody, I can't believe that we're at Utopia Week 3. This is perhaps a point to look back as well. We are almost at the midpoint of the first phase of Utopia, which is our pilot phase. It's certainly not been the 18 months that we thought it was going to be for very obvious reasons, but also we've achieved an awful lot that we perhaps weren't expecting to. So things are looking very different to how they did 18 months ago. And I would encourage everybody just to take a moment to look back at what we have achieved and how far we have come in the last 18 months, because actually, particularly given the circumstances, but even given the circumstances, we've achieved a huge amount. A lot is going to happen in the next 18 months. We've got to a stage where we're really going to start trying to bring everything together, but also where we're going to start seeing some of the learnings from the work we're doing. And that will give us a lot to think about how we take those learnings and develop Utopia for the future.
Being a student is a journey. What does being a student within Utopia change in that journey? Thanks to Utopia, I've been able to be involved in some positive projects. What I really like about Utopia is that the student's voice is being heard. And as a student representative and also president of the Student Council, I'm able to give my opinion concerning the vision we want to have for our alliance. I've been able, for example, to discuss with our rectors, our presidents of universities about the actions we want to implement for the students. We at the Student Council, we are really convinced that the more we are to get involved, the more our voice can be heard. That's why we created the Student Forum. The forum is a place where every student of the Alliance can come, meet with us, to debate some important issues. The first forum that we had, which resulted in the creation of a student commission on sustainability.
What we are doing for inclusion. The Utopia Alliance respects in full the key principles of inclusion. We understand that diversity enriches and strengthens education. We engage students as key stakeholders. In the forthcoming year, Utopia will follow the higher education transformation agenda and will also continue on developing the innovative and inclusive Utopia learning communities, help increase participation of Western Balkans partners, undertake all necessary steps to adopt and promote digital tools that will provide equal access for all, encourage participation and establish the institution Utopia Ambassadors. Our strong partnership will continue to foster inclusion, not only social and regional, but also digital, societal and cross-sectoral inclusion expected at the level of the higher education systems.
The educational model indeed has come a long way. Today we already have 18 connected learning communities up and running across our campuses, and there are 12 more to come by the beginning of 2022. With our connected learning communities, we connect students, staff and other stakeholders in inter-university networks. What does this look like in practice? Well, our connected learning communities develop cross-campus learning activities that are and stay embedded in the curricula of each of our universities. A particularly strong point and even a unique feature of Utopia is that our educational model does not force innovation top-down. Instead, with Utopia's European resources, we build on and reinforce existing examples of innovative best practices in open and active learning. But our ambitions indeed go even further. We want to add research to our connected learning communities and create connected and of course creative learning and knowledge communities.
We are all times in the middle of our local problems, in the tangle of customs and of rules that are the presidents, in fact, of our life in universities. And we are wrong. Utopia means something really clear. We have to bet on Utopia and to use our alliance, our new European University, to show to the tangle of Europe, because Europe is also a tangle in some way, to show that from the point of view of universities, we can make good Europe, and we can come from the big Europe to the local problems that we have here in our mission of placemaking.
Then I would say that the best way to ensure sustainability is to promote solidarity. And maybe the best way to ensure solidarity is to create connected communities. Caroline mentioned that, Igor mentioned that, and you see we are still in the middle of this COVID crisis, and what I keep on saying to my students and to my staff is, of course, stay safe, but stay connected. This is important today to survive to this crisis, not to stay alone, but it is also important to invent Europe. Once you know other people, you care about them, and you care about the same things, and once you do that, you can face a common future for Utopia, for Europe, and for the planet.
And inevitably, internationalism is at the very heart of Utopia's agenda. One of our original commitments in our founding vision and strategy is for Utopia to act as an international gateway for the exchange of knowledge and learning across cultures. Everything we do as Utopia is based on building a European university. However, if we are to create a new model for higher education, we must look beyond the borders of Europe. Global challenges will not be solved by European universities in isolation. Therefore, an important part of the work of our Utopia project is to develop a broader network of partnerships through the integration of non-European universities into Utopia activities. We are delighted to be joined in this effort by Kyungpook National University, by Monash University, by the International University of Rabat, and by Stellenbosch University. We look forward very much to working with our international partners, and we look forward very much to developing still further our international identities.
And I'd say there were two expressions that you all mentioned. It was inclusion and connection. So stay inclusive and stay connected, not only during this week, but for our alliance and for a very long time. I really wish you all a fruitful and inspiring week. And with this, I declare Utopia Weeks Spring 2021 open. And what will I do? I will actually cut a ribbon. So here we go. Ta-da! Now it's open.